Hi, we are Cole and Kelsey, and this is our first time backpacking. Cole and I go on hikes all the time. We camp, we take our camper van places, but we've never actually gone anywhere with 20 pounds on our backs with everything we need, so this was definitely a cool adventure for us. We started at the Trapper Creek Trailhead and took Whitefish Creek Trail southbound to Diamond View Lake. After continuing south, we took a right onto Crater Butte Trail, heading west to the PCT. We then took the PCT northbound for the rest of the way, exiting just at the border of the Deschutes Forest, and then checked back to our car. Our plan was to take it slow for the first time and do the 26-ish mile loop in 3 days and 2 nights, but as you'll see, the Mosquitoes got us moving and we completed it in 2 instead. Here's day 1. We parked around 2:30 after some difficulty because we didn't know that you need a National Forest Pass to park near the closest trailhead, but fortunately we lucked out with some recreational day use parking a little further away, and we paid 3 days worth. It was like $15. From there we had to walk across a railroad track to our trailhead, and it had a little nice map of our loop, and we were on our way.
I'm at this. Oh, okay. We made it to the first leg. Oh.
There are a ton of places you could set up tent along the way, and it was clear that other people had camped there before. It only ended up taking us 2 hours to get there, and we were already feeling just super pumped and excited, so we decided to continue on and see how far we could get before sundown. This was a blessing and a curse, let me tell you, because the mosquitoes were a little bad at first, and then they just continued to get worse and worse.
I'm swatting bugs as we speak. They're everywhere. Mosquitoes. There we go. She's protected. These are the latest trend in hiking fashion right here.
It's kind of hard to see.
I like it.
All right, so we have just arrived at a crossroads. We're gonna go right towards what?
Crater Butte Trail.
Crater Butte.
From there we will, I don't think this is considered PCT yet, but we will, no it's not. But we will hit the PCT from here now.
Sweet.
So.
Let's go. We'll pack some wraps. There's hummus, like a broccoli carrot mix, spinach, some vegan pepper jack cheese, and ham, vegan ham.
We reached another lake that we stayed at for pretty much as long as this video clip because we were being eaten alive by mosquitoes. We saw our first patches of snow on the ground, which was cool, and we filled up our water bottle for the first time in a creek and tried out our little Sawyer mini water filter. Maybe you can't tell, but we were fed up by mosquitoes at this point. There was a whole lot of slapping and swatting happening. We'd wanted to take a break and enjoy the scenery more, and we were considering cooking one of our meals with the stove since we were next to the water source, but there was just no way to stop without permanently setting up camp or we would get bit. The trail was supposed to connect with the PCT at some point, so our goal was to make it there and then camp, but we didn't do a very good job of reading how far away it was on the map and spent a good 2 more hours than we planned trying to even find the sign for it. As soon as we saw a sign for the PCT, we set up camp. We dived into the tent so fast to try and avoid letting mosquitoes in, and we still failed. I'm not exaggerating when I say at least 30 of them flew in with Cole at once. And that moment will live on in my nightmares forever. We honestly couldn't even stay out long enough to cook, so we had Uncrustables and Clif Bars for dinner. I think I also spent a good 30 minutes convincing myself that I was just gonna hold my pee until the next morning, and it didn't last, but it was really hard to get back out of that tent. As you can see, the next morning the mosquitoes were back. A big FU to those guys. We were happy to see the bats eating them the previous night, but there were still so many there. We packed up the tent pretty quickly so we could find a better place to make breakfast a little further away. This is where we left our bear bag, bear canister.
Food.
About 30 minutes later, we found a place in the forest and used our stove for the first time. Cole also took his first shit in the forest, yay! We boiled water, poured it into our backpacking meal, and walked another half an hour or so while it cooked in the bag.
PCT, baby! That's a good view. We are on the PCT right now. We're on the PCT. We're on the PCT.
I think we take the PCT most of the way home. So we have probably like 12 to 15 more miles left today if we wanted to like finish the whole trail and not camp again. So we're just gonna see how we're feeling, I think.
Yeah, we might do it, but it'll be really tough. Otherwise, yeah, we'll just...
Yeah. We have the time to do it. It's more just like, do we want to pace ourselves and sit somewhere and enjoy
This is nice.
stuff? Yeah. I don't know if there's still mosquitoes, but it's better.
It's such a good hike, though.
Oh, God.
I get the hiker's high.
Okay, bye. The meal that we ate was a mushroom risotto. It's vegan and it was freaking delicious. It did not disappoint for being one of the more expensive ones out there. And we ate it while we saw this like really beautiful view of the mountains and some cute adorable chipmunks. So, in true Cole and Kelsey fashion, we missed the trail and we started going up the peak trail that was like totally an incline and in the sun instead of the easier PCT trail.
Only because we stopped to eat right at the fork and we didn't notice.
Yeah, exactly. So I think we spent what, like 30 minutes at least, plus like another 15 just trying to like settle our bones. So we're back on the PCT and we're at the same spot we told you last time. Got about 4 hours until we make it to the end if we do it today.
Just accomplished a big hill.
Once we were back on track, some of the best views of the trip came to view. We came across quite a bit of snow and got to cross over it, which made us giddy like a kid. At one point I even laid down and cooled off and made snow angels. It had been quite a while since we'd seen a water source, so we stocked up on some snow to see if we could just get it to melt later.
Water.
Did it like go in as a ice thing? Pretty much a few minutes later, we ran into a stream.
Oh my God, Kelsey, look at all these mosquitoes. Okay, we're going.
Let me tell you, there is nothing like drinking water straight from the stream. It's kind of cool. There's also nothing like stumbling across the most glorious blue lake that had the least amount of mosquitoes that we'd seen the entire trip. So we put on sunscreen, took a dip in the water, made some coffee and our lunch for the day. And this time we tried the pad thai. And I don't know if we had hiker hunger or what, but it was also really good. After leaving the lake, we took the wrong trail again. Whoops. We were planning on taking the Huron Trail back, but ended up somehow continuing on the PCT. So that added maybe like another hour to our trip. Alright, we're going back.
We're at the end. Just a couple more miles and then we're back at our car. How you feel?
Tired, my feet hurt.
You fucking did.
Woo. Put your thumb down.
Our feet were throbbing by the end, but we pushed through and made it back to our car in one piece. As we're recording this, it's been about 3 days since finishing the trip. Our muscles are no longer sore, but we've got at least 50 mosquito bites between the two of us. Despite that, the trip was such a good experience and we can't wait to go backpacking again soon.